What's up, everybody? It's your girl Erica from the Classic Lawn blog. I just had to throw the camera up here really quickly. If you're the first time watching this channel, I'm a six-figure YouTuber who managed over 2 million in assets. I've got multiple construction projects going on in multiple cities right now. It's a little crazy for the spring, but I just had to do this show because y'all done gone stimulus check crazy, and it's cracking me up. But look. If you can, go drop by Amazon.com and go check out the book, Smartphone Millionaire, How to Invest in People, Businesses, and Real Estate from the Palm of Your Hand. And if you can, drop your city and state in the chat. Now, I am crazy busy, but I loved this channel. I love updating you guys on what I'm seeing in the marketplace. So I'm going to Dallas for a meeting on Tuesday, and then a training Thursday, Friday. And I was looking at hotels, and I was like, man, a lot of hotels are sold out. What's going on? It's crazy. Then I was looking for rental cars to rent. Sold out. Looked in Austin, sold out. Looked in Georgia, sold out. Looked in, because I'm talking about Atlanta. I've got trips and business trips planned for weeks on end right now. Like literally, I'm just gonna be flying. Florida, gone. Atlanta, gone. Cleveland, Ohio, where I need to go check on some of our properties and drive to Columbus, gone. Detroit, Michigan, nothing. So I get it. Y'all have gotten the stimmy. Now, what's even funnier is I have some friends who are, I'm just going to say it, they make over $200K a year. They're all snowboarding. And then they were posting pictures making fun of all these new people snowboarding this weekend. Like they've been snowboarding consistently every weekend almost. And now there's this sea of new people snowboarding. That means they got their stimmy. And I think sometimes people think, black people are poor. No, there's a lot of poor white people getting the stimmy, but they're doing something different. They're snowboarding with their stimmy. They're going to Miami with their stimmy. This past weekend, no less than 20 people I know are in Florida, Miami. They out there in Tulum, okay? They're out there in Cancun and Cabo. And I started laughing because all the business owners in several different Facebook groups are like, hey, we're going to run a special because they got the stimmy. And I just busted out laughing. So again, let's put this in perspective. People are like, well, $1,400 isn't a lot. We already talked about the family that got murdered because they wouldn't give it to I would say, mentally ill father of one of the children. He ended up killing one of the children that wasn't his and killing 3 other family members. But you also have the fact that there are several signs posted at Family Dollars, Bojangles, several places that there's no employees at work today. Now, many people say, well, Erica, that's stupid. Why would someone get $1,400 and quit their job? That's dumb, or do a no call, no show. That doesn't make sense. Well, again, you have to go back to what we were talking about before, that 42% of all Americans make $18,000 or less a year. So you're talking about people who, let's just say for the hypothetical, they make $10 an hour at Popeye. Is it Popeyes? Yeah, Popeyes. Well, at the end, if they work 40 hours every week for a whole month, they'll make $1,600. So you just gave them lump sum their whole month's check. Now, of course, we can all argue about the mentality and that's silly and I'm just telling you what it is, okay? Even right now in Cleveland, we are trying to get tenants for our properties. I noticed out of the hundreds of, and we've got them filled for those units, out of the hundreds of applications we received, the average person made $2,000 to $2,500 a month. That's it. So it wasn't like, well, I'm gonna pick the best candidates for this is the sea of people you're working with. People and some of the ladies, let's just be honest, they had multiple children, so they were receiving child support, aid and benefits and all that good stuff. Now, Cleveland and certain cities and other places have capped Section 8. They're not increasing it. They're not increasing the listings. They're not, they got 90-day wait list. Many business owners were like, yo, I got hit bad, so I'm gonna just hop on over here to consistent government money, and that plan's not even working for folks. What caught me is I was like, okay, so we don't have any rental cars anywhere. That can't be all stimmy, right? But it is. Let me show you and this is a part of it too. And I stay on reddit.com. Ignore this one, but we'll come back to this, talking about homes. There's a thing called a car rental, stop it, computer. A car rental apocalypse, what you need to know. Now, here's the thing. When Hertz and Enterprise and all these people got hit by basically the virus, and the airlines and airports travel completely went down, they basically sold as much as they could. They sold a bunch of cars. They liquidated as much as they could so they could get a deal with the bankruptcy courts, and they just tossed a bunch of stuff because that was the easiest thing to do. But guess what? Now that is, oh, there's low inventory. Well, I would go to airports and there's only like 20 cars. I mean, I went to Detroit, y'all, and it was literally 30 cars. And I was like, in the car city, Detroit, there's only 30 cars here at the airport. And when I went to the window, one lady was like, oh, I already reserved that. I'm like, it's not reserved, ma'am. It's over here in the open section. And she was sitting there looking at me mad. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go because there is nothing left to reserve. Definitely check out this article. Don't just believe me. And a lot of people were renting cars to do food delivery, do food service. I posted in the community tab how the young man was saying, I'm about to be homeless because someone tipped me $1. And my response is, no, sir, you were about to be homeless because you've been underperforming and under-saving money for years. It doesn't happen like that. I know everybody tries to get you to believe that, yeah, you're one paycheck away from homelessness. No, there's like several steps along the way. If you don't have credit cards, if you don't have family, if you don't have friends, if you don't have many things. So people aren't just falling out homeless the next day. It's been a wave of this that has happened. Now, apps like Torino and other rental car apps, and there's even a rental car app for people who want to do food service, so they can rent weekly or monthly. This has been coming. People were tired of paying these $200 deposits for the car rental place. They were tired of getting hit over the head with fees. You saw Hertz had to be sued. They wouldn't produce a receipt for over 3 years of a man who rented a car. So he couldn't be, it showed the car. He was in a whole other city, whole other state. He couldn't be committing a murder back in the original city. And it took Hertz 3 years to even produce that receipt. Right. So a lot of issues have been with the car agencies. Right. And Hertz also, if I'm not mistaken, here in this article, it tells you they bought some of the smaller guys. Yeah. Hertz now owns the Dollar and Thrifty car rental brands. Advantage Car just declared bankruptcy, and Europeel Car is entering restructuring. So these are terrible ways to go. Now, it's not just the rental car issue. I've been communicating with some other business owners, and I was like, have you noticed there's no cars either on Torino? Right? There's a ton of YouTube videos if you go look where people say, oh, I lost money with Torino, I lost money. And they'll show you where they bought a Ferrari. And really, they wanted to drive the Ferrari and then rent it out sometimes. So, of course, they didn't make money. But I can tell you now from experience, I've always tried to book a Jeep Wrangler every city I go. I'd have to call a week in advance, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I've tried all of the rental car places. There's nothing for months. There's nothing on Torino, no city I'd look up. And that shows me that pent up demand where people can't possibly maybe afford that vehicle, but they can afford to rent that vehicle, right? Their credit for whatever reason isn't in the right way to rent. Now, that's something I saw and it disturbed me. But before we go on to the next, I had to show you this story that really made me angry. It's a North Carolina 6-year-old. He was in court by himself because his mother could not miss her job. And guess what he was accused of? Picking a tulip from a yard at his bus stop. His attorney, Julie Boyer, said as he was at trial for juvenile court for injury to real property. Now, first of all, let me be very clear. I'm from North Carolina. I think this is a near Durham. I'm not mistaken. But let me tell you, if I find the name of these people who press charges on this 6-year-old, I will forever put it on the internet that these people are garbage and should be tarred and feathered and beaten within an inch of their life. Right? So literally at court, they handed him a color book and let him color because he's 6 years old. Now, let me be very clear. Over 70 children, 6 years old, have been through North Carolina justice system. Now, I'm going to go ahead and tell you this. If this mother could not miss work and he has no father, he has no grandmother, he has nobody who could attend court with him, I'm going to say this, and it's ugly, she should not have children. If her financial life is so destroyed that she cannot miss a day of work for a 6-year-old baby, to go to court for picking a tulip out of somebody's yard. I don't understand why does this woman have custody of this child? And I'm being 100% honest right now, y'all. I don't understand. And now, so they're basically saying they have to raise the age to 10 years old because this doesn't make any sense. And I agree. It doesn't make any sense. And really, we need to be putting the family out who called about an injury to their tulips, which I have a feeling is the older white couple. And that's why you can't find their name anywhere in the internet. They need to be beat within an inch of their life. I'm not even joking, y'all. Like, if I find this name of these people, I will make it my mission to post it all over every Reddit board, every place I can find it. So, I see you guys' comments because I know you're probably like, oh, Erica, that's crazy. Like, nah, like the parents is raggedy, and the people who press the charges, they should be beat. Like, I literally almost want to go protest in front of the house. That doesn't even make sense to me in any kind of sense. But before I go too crazy, let's get a video from one of our sponsors. Let's get a video from one of our sponsors before I go too crazy.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog. Number one thing people take for granted is service. We overlook it, we downplay it, but guess what? When it came to the Texas blizzard of 2021, plumbers, welders, construction guys are going to be rich beyond your wildest dreams. So listen, do you want to be a part of that service industry? Do you want to be able to manage teams of people to go out, even if you don't know how to do the skill, but can manage a team of people to do so and get the leads in? Definitely check out Middleman to Millions course. I'm actually out of the country right now in Cabo, Mexico, enjoying it with my friends because I've almost, not 100%, automated that business to be useful, service others, and actually help clients get what they need. So check out more, swipe up.
So yeah, I'm seeing you guys' comments. It happened to your sister when she came down to Houston for work. No rental cars. Junie, congratulations. She refused to be a product of demographic destiny. I quit working as a farm tech for 16 an hour. Now I work as a freelance web developer for 25 an hour. Congrats. Keep getting that income up. The jobs are out there. I mean, let's be really honest. Stimulus check, income tax, unemployment check, a good week for some. I will tell you right now, I end up reaching out. Like, I've got construction sites, jobs going on in different states right now. And between bankers who are like, Erica, we're swamped right now with PPP, last minute applications. And then also talking to bankers and they're like, I can't even get your loan documents in fast enough because we're overdated with people applying for cars. You know what time of the year it is. They get income tax, they get cars. It's all the time. It's over and over and over. And so everything you think of that should be moving faster isn't. It took me 2 weeks of calling USAA to follow up on a car accident. And they were like, oh, we're so sorry, between the storm in Texas and this and that, we're just busy. I'm like, I've never had USAA give me bad service. Never. And in other news, Texas has decided, a federal judge in Texas has decided it's a wrap. The federal government can't tell you can't collect income from your tenants. So that means the moratorium in Texas is pretty much going to be over. On top of that, other cities and states are going to use that. They're going to use what Texas has done to say, we're going to use this too. So it's going to be a little bit crazy coming up. Yeah, you can't become homeless off of lack of tips. A lot of people try that. Torino, yep. Enterprise bumped up the deposit, $300. Good gracious. It's a lot harder to rent. I believe it. Yeah, 6 years old. At the end of the day, let me find that name. I will. If I can find the old little lady who's like, he picked a tulip, I will beat them within an inch. Exactly. Like, I'm trying to figure out, did she give the kid to the attorney that day? Like, how did the kid get to court and she could? I just don't understand. I don't understand at all. And that was in North Carolina. Oh, Purple Gal. Like, I am doing this video to kind of get you guys know, like, is a crash coming? Every group I'm in, there's a lot of flux. Every group I'm like, and I make it very clear. March, I'm going to a training on purpose. March, I'm going to another meeting in Dallas. April, I'll be in Atlanta. April, I'll be in Miami. April, I'll be in Houston. for Capital Con. There's a bunch of events I'm going to, and it's all kind of the same energy. Like, hey, there's a lot of flex, there's a lot of things moving, there's a lot of homeowners who, yeah, they waited this whole time to get their tenants out of their property, and now some of their tenants that will be getting out in April, May, that house is going to be destroyed. So they're going to want to sell those properties onto the marketplace. It's coming. So there's going to be a lot of flux this summer. There's a guy, you know, he's not Peter Schiff as much, but it was Harvey Dent was on Glenn Beck the past 3 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago, talking about how we're going to have a crash. And if you look at the numbers, it's surprising we haven't had it yet. But in my opinion, it's going to be closer to the fall. Now, why do I say that? You had businesses that were struggling last year. They got the first PPP, okay? They kind of made it through. They made it through. Then they got this second PPP. And some businesses, like one of our 5 that we applied to PPPs for, it's still on hold. They all got approved at the same time, but all of a sudden one is on hold. You call and they say, you know what, because of all fraud, all the craziness, all the backed up stuff, we may have to wait. You may just have to wait, ma'am. And I'm like, this is crazy. And so a lot of stuff is backed up. It is just absolutely, completely backed up, no matter the system, no matter the people. And that shows me, you know, prime example, we have a tenant in one of our properties that's been there since October 2019, not paying a dime. Well, the city and everybody worked together to make sure we got some type of payment, so we wouldn't sue her and she would get out. She's still there, y'all. Like, city done paid, then got it. She's still there. We literally have to wait for the sheriff to get her physically out. And so what I want people to understand is it's a giant hurry up and wait for everybody. Like this last little stimulus check, this last little hurrah, this last little income tax, I really want people to be getting in position. We've had over 100 emails. I'm going to do a compilation video here soon of where people called for the insurance adjuster job and got in. And we've just got tons of emails. Joel's got tons of emails and messages on Instagram. We're just going to do a compilation video because I really want you to understand that what people think is going to happen isn't. The numbers are not there. Now, what do I mean? Now, people are going to say, Erica, a crash. Not the crash you guys are thinking of, what you're thinking, yes, deflation, so great. I'm talking about hyperinflation. I'm talking about hyperinflation, where cost of goods go up and up and up. Prime example, which they didn't stop tracking, is lumber cost. So many people are like, well, Erica, lumber just had this issue because housing and this. No. They are overtime cutting wood, and it's still, the cost is still crazy, right? Try to go to the store right now and get fencing, get anything. I promise you. It's going to be very interesting. Yes, the child's name is Julie Bowling, and I'm really serious. I don't know if there's a donation fund for her, but whoever this mother is, you lucky I don't know her name, because to me that to me signifies you can't take off work for 2 hours. Nah, something's wrong. Something's wrong. Winter came and shut down. It did and it didn't. There's a different winter I'm talking about, Don Smith. It's a financial winter. Oh, yes. September to November. Listen, look at you, purple girl. Congratulations. Look at you paying attention. Yeah, September to November. And they always call it the October surprise. Now, see, they used to call it the October surprise for the election years, and they used to call it the October surprise for several stuff. A lot of people aren't paying attention that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, but I'm just saying Kamala Harris because Joe Biden ain't even there. They already changed flip-flop on what they said, like, hey, no new taxes on people making $400,000. Okay, some new taxes on people making more than $200,000. And a lot of people are like, so what? I'm in the South. I make $30K. I don't care. People in Connecticut, the whole state just raised taxes across the board. Now Joe Biden's raising your taxes. That's literally the book, Road to Serfdom. That's literally what it outlays, okay? And I get it. A lot of people come on here to get mad with me and argue with me, but I'm just telling y'all what it is. Down to earth, I don't understand a woman in this earth that would not sit beside a 5-year-old. Have you seen 5-year-olds? They're like babies. They're babies. The cost of groceries and gas went up. Yeah, the 46 consecutive days in a row, gas has gone up. Again, let me say that again. 46 consecutive days in a row, gas has gone up. When you start seeing a bunch of people move back to the Teslas, back to the Priuses, back to the Hondas, you know what time it is, right? And we're going to have a lot of gray area. If you're in the groups, you've seen me post in California how a couple spent their whole life savings and paid $530,000 for a home, which really they paid $500,000 for the home and $30,000 because the guy had a tax lien on the house and the guy won't move out. Have y'all seen that? Please tell me you looked that up. Because girl, there would be a fire. Alden Rodriguez, and again, you guys, feel free to super chat, cash app show, support the show. She said, we live in California, can't afford a house here. Would you recommend we purchase a rental property in a cheaper state as an investment property and continue paying rent here? I would. Because what happens is people get house poor. If they spend all their money to get this house of their dreams, then they really can't leave. They have no other options. Then you're house poor. So to me, it would be better. Like prime example, a couple different people posted, duplexes for $70K, a single family property for $45K in Cleveland, and you're talking about $1,000 rent. Most people act like, well, that's not a big deal, but it is. You tell me $1,000 a month times 12 is $12,000. Now, many people say, well, Erica, what about people not paying their rent? Honey, that's over. Those moratoriums, you just need to check it state by state, because I'm telling you, they're not going to let they're not going to let it go as long as you think. Because here's the deal, and I'm going to say this is ugly, but if you're in my Rap 20% class, you know this. If you want to sell your property and the next person who's buying your property requests that it be absolutely vacant upon purchase, those people have to get out. Let me see if I can pull it up. There is let me see if I can pull it up. There is people in mobile homes, and they sold the mobile home park, and they're being evicted. Now, people are like, hey, that's not possible. Let me see where it's at. Let me see. Yep, here it is. Here it is. Okay. Let me share it. Do you see the disrespect Skynet gives me? Oh, Skynet, we had like 400 people up in here. Dang. Listen, okay, we out here trying to give the truth. Okay. All right, so put a 1 in the comments if you can see me, if you can hear me, if I'm here, if you hear me. Drop a 1 in the comments. Drop a 1 in the comments. So crazy, y'all, right now. Drop a 1 in the comments if you can hear me. I can't believe it's tripping like this. Yep. And while we wait, give y'all a video file. This is crazy. Y'all give me a second.
And I don't know about you, but I started a business so I could do this. Travel, be with friends, be with family, create memories. I didn't do it to sit at the computer all day. I didn't do it in Zoom meetings. I did it to create opportunities for myself and opportunities for others. So listen, if that's something that interests you, enjoying time with your friends, being out and about, definitely drop by Erica Williams' Classy Climb blog. Check out the YouTube channel. We've got over 2,000 videos of free information that's actually changed people's lives. People actually post their new jobs, their new careers, their new businesses all the time over at the channel.
Okay, so that's crazy. So, but you guys are back. I see a lot of 1s. All right, you guys, this is crazy. So I'll try to finish this up. But long and story short, if you see a lot of people talking about rental car businesses, that's kind of what you're going to be seeing. It's crazy. Which book? Road to Serfdom? Road to Serfdom's a good book. Gotta read it. Yeah, there is a seller that won't leave the house. They cashed out their money. They paid them cash money for this house, and they paid off their lien on the house, which was $30,000. And the family over a year now has refused to move out. Now, California is in that gray area. Let's be honest. Don't buy nothing in California. I know my audience gets mad at me every time I say that, but I just can't support the state. Like they keep every day they come with some new craziness. Long and story short, California's like, they're not renters, they're not tenants, they're technically squatting, they're in breach of contract. So they say, are y'all gonna arrest them? Are y'all gonna pick them up? Are y'all gonna put them out? And California's like, we can't, because technically they're protected, but they're not tenants, but they're not renters. There's no contract. They're in breach of a contract. And I've talked to several realtors in California who are kind of like, I don't know kind of what's going to happen. So I can't in good faith tell y'all to buy homes in California. Now, listen, I'll always say fight for California. If this is where you're born, this is where your family's from, fight for California for sure. Like, I'm not going to be that person. If and what's funny here in Austin, we see a lot of cars that'll say constitutional conservative with giant California taxes on them, plates on them, and it just cracks me up. I'll be like, well, if you're so conservative, go back and fight for your state. And I get it. There's only so much time in your life. There's kids, school. You want to do what you can do. I get it. Okay, so this is another one. Mobile home parks. I told you guys. I've been telling you for months here. There's a reason I'm so busy and I'm not available. In April 30th to August 1st, I'll be gone. I'll have over 10 construction projects going on. I'll have closing on some deals. And I'm looking at how the paperwork is right now. I'm literally calling banks, calling insurance companies, calling title companies every day, and everybody's backed up. Everybody from where, hey, you guys, how's my stuff looking? Is it done? Is my loan done? Is this done? None. No, everybody's like, we're so busy. Can you give us a call back? Can we call you back? We'll follow back up in 24 hours, 48 hours. It's crazy. So, and you got to remember, it's not just American money. We have overseas money that's coming to America because we're stable. So prime example, these people wanted this land, okay, that this park is on. And guess what? They bought the land, but the land had to be vacant. So that means every single mobile home that's on the park has to get out and be moved. They essentially told them this on Christmas Eve and told them they had to be out by January 20th. Now, I don't know if you understand how lots work with mobile home parks. And again, if you're in the Rise 20% class, you probably need to go back and watch Mobile Home Elite. Brian, he's in there and he talks about it. All these people, the most people cannot afford the $2,000 to $5,000 to move the home. They just can't. They can't afford it. So not only are these people going to walk away from their mobile homes that they own, they're also going to have to start over somewhere, right? And if you think about it, the person who's buying this place, they don't care. They want it vacant. So you're going to have this kind of scavenger gray area where people are going to try to come get these 70-ish homes off this piece of land, and it'll still cost those people $5,000 to $10,000 to move them, but the owner doesn't care. The person who's selling it wants the land vacant. So there's 3 or 4 places this is happening. This one is in Wisconsin. Another one is near California. But again, there are 8.5 million manufactured homes in the United States. It's 10% of the country's housing market. I know people try to act like, oh, I ain't never living in no mobile home. Go to Florida, go to California. There are retiree mobile home parks where it's nothing but little elderly people there riding their golf carts and walking close to the beach. And so again, pay attention. I'm telling you guys, a lot of people are about to be squeezed. And I know, I get it. People are like, I don't care about politics. I don't care about local news. You know, a lot of people are walking around on a low information diet. And that's why you see on YouTube, people who are talking about a stimulus check, their channels are getting millions of views because people, 1, don't trust mainstream media. 2, want to know, like, what's the maximum amount of money I can get? And in my mind, my whole time, I'm like, baby, you got to figure out a next level plan because this is not sustainable. Okay, they give you the stimmy. What's next? All the guys and girls who quit Popeyes and quit working at the food restaurant and the Family Dollar last week because they got their stimmy and another check for their kids. What happens next? And I'm not going to get too political, you know, but you see they just passed another law. And if you don't believe a lot of people are going to be filling up prisons for what I call poor man crimes, and I'm going to be careful with it. I call them poor man crimes, petty theft, crimes of opportunity, breaking in cars, or if a car door is unlocked, kids open the door and take the stuff out of it. Those are called opportunity crimes. But you're going to see, you know, with the packages getting off the front porch, all this stuff, these opportunity crimes are going to, you're going to have more people in jail. You're going to have more people in jail. That's just is what it is. So let me see if I can show you the next article. This one is about Austin. Yes, I'm here in Austin, and you guys are like, oh, I'm so sick of Erica talking about Austin, Texas. This isn't just an Austin problem. Look on your Instagram scroll right now for Miami and Atlanta. Atlanta scoop cracks me up, right? People are exiting, okay? When I tell you about the 1 million that's leaving California and the 1 million that's leaving New York, those are people who sat down and told a tax preparer, an accountant, hey, I'm leaving. Prepare my books and my life and my business to leave. That's the people who were prepared. I'm not trying to be ugly. We have a sea of Americans who are unprepared. They just want to go to work, drink beers on Friday, and chill out. And that's their right, because only in America can you live a low vibration life and kind of be okay. There are people packing up and leaving. And every week I see U-Hauls all over Austin. And people are like, well, that could be some people leaving. Nah, it's people coming in. It's people coming in. And even in Houston, right now, there are some people I'm meeting in Houston tomorrow for a business meeting. They're trying to sell some land to me. And I'm like, now I got to run around and go work hard to go get it closed. You know, there's opportunities all over the place. But now I'm going to meetings, and the first thing the girl or guy tells me is like, hey, I just had some people from Dallas call me. I just had some people from California call me. They're trying to buy it too. And I'm hearing that more and more and more. So, you know, don't believe that everybody don't got no money. There's some money being made. If you sell everything you got off the shirt off your back out of California, Seattle, Portland, Oregon, and go out here to Texas, you're going to turn around and double, if not triple, your investments. So, again, this is Austin. Single family homes, townhomes, condos soared 24%. Where my friend lives in the neighborhood he's at, it's right across from Apple's new campus. Like literally you can get up and walk out of your door and walk to Apple, like less than 5 minutes. The house on his street that would normally sell for $375 sold for $500,000. Let me say that again. The house that would normally sell for $375 sold for $500,000. Now you're gonna say, well, Erica, that can't last forever. You know, there's just no way, right? That's just it. What you don't understand is the people that are saying they're moving, those are organized. You got Joe, Bob, Billy, Jeffy, and Tommy Peely, who just got mad on Thursday and packed up all their what they own and got on a bus or got on a plane and relocated. I can tell you right now, there's 4 or 5 people who relocated after one trip, and they just are selling everything they got back home. They don't care what happens to it. So don't get it twisted. And again, I love how this thing goes 5 Austin regionals spanning from Georgetown to San Marcos. San Marcos is completely like 45 minutes away from here where I'm at. Georgetown is 10, 15 minutes up from me. They're using a large target area to do this information. And so I just want to clarify that you know, I don't pull these numbers from my butt. These numbers are like real numbers. And what's going to be funny is Florida, you know, I watched the news, mainstream news, for a while the other day. And the first thing they're saying is, well, we don't even count Florida. So you're telling me an area with a high number of elderly people who could be exposed to this virus are outside living life, booming economy, and we don't count them? You guys, if the dude out of Florida doesn't run for some kind of office, presidency, I'd be shocked. Because of this thing, he comes out cleaner and better than our poor Texas governor, who was like, I ain't got nothing to do with the snow, right? You know, this is, I'm telling you guys, like, I'm trying to press on everybody that's in my groups to please be ready to pivot. Please be ready to invest wherever you prefer to invest. I can tell you right now, there's been times I delayed and goofed off. I tried to invest in Chattanooga, Tennessee and Nashville, Tennessee 5 years ago. And this is like 2 years after, about 3 years after I left North Carolina. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go back and I'm invest in Chattanooga and I'm invest in Nashville. And my phone was blowing up with wholesalers and I'm talking to them and the deals were moving so fast from people moving to New York. I call for some of those same areas in Chattanooga and Nashville now, they've doubled. So this isn't just an Austin thing. And it's not just a Tennessee thing. Like I've done the same trying to get somewhere in Houston. I've done the same trying to get properties. And people say, what are you doing? I'm trying to get an Airbnb, but I'm also trying to get rentals because it's kind of that squeeze part where people who've been waiting all year because their tenant hasn't been paid, they're sick of it. And they're not going to wait anymore. They're going to sell and liquidate that property one way or another, either through a wholesaler or through putting it on the market. And guess what? That new owner is going to require that house be vacant. So a lot of these people, when they say the numbers about 40 million Americans are going to be in flux for housing, if you're smart, you'll pay your landlord. If you're smart. If not, he's going to be selling. Don't worry. Let's see. See your comments. What's up, ABL? California is almost, yeah. I mean, I feel like they're purposely trying to not do business. And on top of that, you know, the cruise industry was really struggling. And now the cruise industry is requesting, in order to get back on the cruises in November, December, you have to have your shot. Are you kidding me? Nope. Our family's been cruising for 30 years. We won't cruise anymore. You know what I mean? Cruising forever. Not 30 years, but a good 20 since I was like 11. Angela, no, don't talk about the Midwest like that. And again, I want you to understand that some of these people may, in the future, move back to California. That's possible. 88% of all people live 1 hour from their mother. This is according to IRS documentation when they start looking at people do their IRS returns. So some of these people may move back, but a lot of people, when they move to Texas, like I know one young lady, she left California, like Los Angeles, California. Her and her mother and another family member moved to Las Vegas. Well, she didn't like Las Vegas, so she moved to Houston. Her mother and the other family member are still in Las Vegas. And she's like, don't keep following me because I might move again. And that's the kind of economy we're in, right? At some point, she could desire to live in California, but she cannot financially afford it. Her and her 2 sons cannot afford to live there. That's just all there is to it. Philip Dreyfus, they're gonna literally have to go to physical court. And I'm telling you, every video I've watched of the people, like she's tried to water the grass, the guy ripped up the sprinkler lawn system. Let me tell you, that man would be out of that house. I don't know if I got to sit in the front yard with a locksmith 24 hours sitting on call, waiting for the day they have to go to the grocery store or they have to go somewhere, but they coming up out that house. Yep, that's true. Some mobile home parks in the Bay Area cost $300,000, $400,000. Yep. Listen, Dave Sincere, I would complain, but I can't. We just had tenants move in, and not only did they pay their whole first month's deposit, they paid all the way up till August. Now, I was nervous because I said, you know what that is? That's STEMI. That's STEMI. That's unemployment. That's all kind of stuff. So I asked the property manager what their paperwork looked like. Is that, or did you call their job? Did you call around? Did you make sure they have a job? Property manager said, I called. Now I'm just gonna tell you that's a really big STEMI. Okay, that's a big stimulus check. How many children she got in the house? They're like, no, it's just her and her husband. I'm like, somebody got unemployment in there. But I will put it to you this way: I'm glad because we don't have to worry about her till August. And in my mind, if I'm living somewhere and I don't have to pay rent till August, hopefully she has it in her mind to work hard, her and her husband, to pay up the rest of the year, right? Or at least have rent by August, right? So again, I can't be upset. Tenant paid lump sum deposit. What is it? March, April, May, June, July. She paid 5 months worth. Can't really complain. So some people are doing it to get through apartments. Oh yeah. I mean, the channels that talked about STEMI, crazy. It's hard to get political, and I got a lot of backlash in December and November, October, and to protect people's identity, you'd be shocked how many Black business owners who reached out to me and told me they were a conservative and they voted for Trump. And you know what? They're lucky I'm a nice person because I would tell it, but I'm not. Because they would lose their audience on Instagram and other places. Buffalo Soldier, go contact the CPA. Yeah, mobile home parks, all of them, a bunch of them. People are flocking to Florida. I mean, every bit of Florida is full. Every bit of Florida is full right now. It's vibrant. It's alive. There's been a couple conferences that were scheduled to be in California that moved to Texas and Florida. And Grant Cardone was going to do a conference in Las Vegas. They would not have him they wouldn't let him have it. So he did 15,000 people in Florida. They used a big room and an overfill room. I didn't go because I was coming back from Cabo, but I was like, that's bananas. And that's how he's going to, in the future, do it. I'm sorry for your father. But yeah, that's what I call it. They call them poor man crimes, and I don't like that term. I think that's, disrespectful. I call them opportunity crimes. Somebody sees something, they pick it up, or different things like that. Northern Virginia, see, here's the thing, Reform Man. Northern Virginia, everybody says Northern Virginia is overpriced, but for who? If you got a government contract job and you're going to work it for the next 20 years, being overpaid anyway, the traffic's what killed it for me. Tampa's a hot spot right now. Oh, yeah. Atlanta's still red hot. Atlanta Journal-Constitution said it'll take more than a year of inventory to close to pre-pandemic levels. Atlanta has this fun factor that Houston also has. And Charlotte has the before Atlanta got a huge kind of pre-Atlanta vibe. And that's why those places are enjoying what they enjoy now. A friend of mine here in Atlanta sold their home recently to an investor. They were paying $797 a month in mortgage before the sale. The investor now listed the home at $2,197 a month rent. Hey. And again, there is an article. If you guys go back and look at the article, it's called Forbes Boomtown List. Go check it out. Don't take my word for it. Please go verify the things I'm pointing out and telling you guys. It's called Forbes Boomtown List, and it's from 2016. Every town it lists in there is beyond booming. It's like, whoa, it's over the top. And so some of the towns they listed were even booming before then. Yeah, there's 403 people here. Let's please get up the likes. That'd be super nice. Google is coming to Raleigh, Durham. The housing prices are about to skyrocket. Boo, there's over 2,000 companies in the Research Triangle. But yet we got the news from Google going there. It's going to change it. Like every couple of months I go, man, I need to go buy a home in Raleigh, to be closer to my family in my older years or whatever. And every time I go back, I'm like, I'm not paying for this. $300,000 for this? Get out of here. Right? Like the prices have already skyrocketed. I remember having rent in Cary for like $725 for a 2-bedroom right after college. And I was like, that was the time to buy. It's up to you. I feel like every time you move to a new location, you open yourself up to new conversations, new networking opportunities, all kind of stuff, just getting in the thick of it, right? So prime example, there's a mastermind I'm going to in Florida, and one, I love the mastermind group I'm going to, but two, I may stay there 2 more weeks if I can squeeze it, just because the group of guys are investing at such a high rate. It may be beneficial for me to stay a few weeks just to get in that energy and that vibe. Because I called like 7 people this weekend, y'all. They're like, you in Miami? I was like, no. Oh, girl, I thought you was here. What you calling me about? I'm like, oh, I was just talking to you about blah, blah, blah. And it was so funny because they all said the same thing. Oh, you here? Where you at? I'm like, no, I'm not there. I'm in Texas. So yeah, there's that energy, a lot of that energy. Oh, yes. Listen, sign up, y'all. I mean, I'm gonna keep doing the tech shows because I'm telling you with conviction as much as I can is there's a lot of shifting gonna happen the next 90 days. And I'm in groups who are like pushing and they're buying and stuff is opening up here and there. But you also have to think when Kamala Harris said they're gonna get 500,000 work visas, HB1 visas. And the Indian newspapers are like, yeah, we about to come all up over there, right? And you're talking about chain migration that has like 10 or 12 family members coming with them. I did a video on it. You're going to have about 5 to 6 million people coming to America. So when I sit here and talk about poor man crimes, opportunity crimes, that's people who run out of ideals, or they think they don't have a lot of opportunity. Like when I watched the story about the guy in Baltimore, the young man who basically is failing school, and he's 17, they're going to put him back in the 9th grade. That boy should be sat down somewhere, first to make sure he can read, and 2, put in some kind of vocational training where he's going to be building, welding, construction. Like he doesn't even need to be at school, to be very honest. So yes, congratulations on taking that. Y'all, you need to get rid of Gavin, period. Good luck. Yep. They have 4 Amazons. Yep. And Gary Vaynerchuk has a building in Chattanooga. So when I tell people, like, people in New York have been strategizing to be in Tennessee and Austin and Raleigh, Durham, and all these places for years. It's like, come on. They've been there for years. It depends. If you're talking about old Virginia in the mountains, yeah, you can get cheap properties, but is it anywhere you want to be? I'm still telling y'all, there's a young lady who moved from Los Angeles, California to Danville, Virginia. I was like, honey, unless you're moving for some man, like out of a Hallmark movie, moving to the middle of nowhere, ain't nothing going on there. Ain't nothing going on there. Yeah, listen, kids are the least likely to get it. And I had a family member the other day tell me, well, the kids need to get shots. And I'm like, for what? They're the least likely to get it. No, don't do it, y'all. Don't do it. Don't do it. This Tammy, I really want to Google that story more because I'm thinking probably the attorney went and picked the child up from their house or something. But that to me still is crazy. Like there's no grandma, there's no father. What's going on? How people aren't moving out of homes they sell. I put in the contract, I put in closing the store will pay me rent if they did not exit the home. Jim, this is is California. The person tried it. Like they just honestly, they tried it for the past year. They figured out the police won't come arrest them. They can't get put out. The homeowners, let's be honest. If you or me, let's have an honest moment. Let somebody do that to me and my family in North Carolina. We would come take them doors off the hinges. They'd come home to no doors. And people like, oh, Erica, that's terrible. You couldn't do it. We'll fight it in court, but them doors is coming off that house. Come home to no door. Not a front door, not a back door, not a screen door. No doors on the hinges. You gonna get on out today. You're getting out. I mean, and this is the thing. That's why I keep telling people, like, you understand. Superstar Customs, I pray this woman and her husband are making good sound decisions and they continue this track of payment for sure. I pray they do. But there's going to be a lot of gray area coming up. I'm just telling y'all, like, I've never experienced calling banks and calling places where, like, literally one banker emailed me back at 7 o'clock at night. He was like, this past Thursday, he was like, yeah, we're literally still at the office. And I'm like, what? He's like, it's the last week for the PPP and we are slammed. So then we got to go check it all and send it out. If we don't do it right, our bank is in trouble. My job could be in trouble. And I just felt horrible for him. I'm like, it's 7 o'clock in Texas and you're at a bank emailing me. God bless you. And he wasn't one of those people like, oh, I'm working from home and then lying. Like, no, like he's literally at the bank in San Antonio working. So let me see what else y'all got in here. I'm gonna wrap this up because we're going on an hour. Thank you guys for the super chats. I appreciate them. How will this affect the dollar? Again, Diamond, hyperinflation. Go to your store right now and try to spend $100. Look at the cost of stuff. That's why when I told y'all the video about farmers and partnering with farmers to get the steaks and the chicken, even when Nick Bear went on Instagram and talked about one particular farmer in Georgetown, the guy sold out for the year and a half. He's like, I have nothing. I'm sold out. He's like, ever since the kid put me on Instagram, I don't have anything. I don't have anything. Amazon is building an H2O in Northern Virginia. Don't sleep on it. Listen, y'all, anything southeast for the next 10, 12 years, every conference I've been to that's been real estate based, that's been commercial lending based, has said the same thing. Again, when I tell y'all there's 17 million vacant homes and someone's like, oh, wholesaling's oversaturated. There's 17 million vacant homes. Give it a few months. I'm telling you, August, September, October, November, some of those people that have been holding on to those vacant properties, their Uncle Bob, Billy Joe left them, they're going to let it go. They're going to let it go. Listen to the calls that call in the Dave Ramsey show now. Listen to them. Hey, we're over leveraged. We got to get out of this. Only way out of some of this stuff is to sell. It's really the only way out for some of these people is to sell, is to liquidate and sell. And I did the video on zombie businesses that didn't get good reaction here, and I know it wasn't going to. But some of these businesses, like it went from 2% zombie businesses in America to 19%. So that means that company can only pay bare minimum debt repayment. They're not growing, they're not dying, but that's it. Toys R Us was that company. A lot of those companies that took out these big loans from bigger companies, that's where they are. They're literally just cruising. Even now, one of my LLCs is rental cars. And we'll do a video in the future about it. And like, you know, I didn't want to be one of those YouTubers like, hey, I did the rental car thing. No, I just want to show you like something that I did in Austin that's brought some income that's been pretty consistent. But I think it's partly because of my market, one, and two, I literally go talk to other business owners before I do something. I go, hey, what are you guys doing? What numbers are you guys seeing? What's the P&L? What's the balance sheet look like? Okay, this is a pretty good idea, right? And only business out of all my businesses that's been the hardest to maintain and control and get flow to is the trucking. That's it, because it's so people-based. It's so people-based that it's unlike anything else. As a landlord, I'm nervous about anything but month-to-month leases. Can just cancel lease if needed. Otherwise, everyone suddenly gets the Rona and wants to stay forever. God bless you, Wayne, because I even know people who are struggling to get their tenants out from month to month. Oh, man, thank you so much, Aldo Rodriguez, for the $19.99 super chat. I appreciate all you do. You inspire me. Really been blessed by your videos. Thank you. I appreciate it. Kansas and Oklahoma are both cheap places. I know a freaking dude who's virtual wholesaling, killing it. But again, the prices he's getting for are still a little bit higher than I thought they would be. Hollywood has moved to Atlanta. Yeah. See, this is what people understand. When North Carolina had all those incentives, our governor got cocky and was like, oh, we don't need to keep giving those incentives. We're in North Carolina. We have all these studios out in Wilmington and Beach. They'll come back. They set up shop in Atlanta. They set up shop in Florida. They've set up shop here in Austin. There's about 20 shows that get filmed right here in Austin. Don't play with Hollywood. and honestly, there's more I can talk about, but we'll go on. This is the thing. This is the thing. T-stocks. I'm gonna say it to you like this. I'm gonna wrap it up because I'm getting close to the hour. I just can't wrap my head around high employment rate, skills gap, automation of these high home prices. I really think a crash is gonna happen. So here's the squeeze point. And a lot of people, there's an article, and I'm probably gonna do a series on it like I did the automation series, where we have the return of the yuppie. Where Kevin Samuels even did a video talking about in 2019, marriage certificates went up 30%, right? About 25, 30%. But they were all older. They were all like 35 to 50 getting married. Gen Xers, 40 to 59, right? Because there is that, it's real out here, right? And this yuppie society are people who are making that 70 to 80 a year, right? You think those people want to live downtown. No, they don't. They want to live in the suburbs with their kids. And it only takes so much for the man and woman to qualify and then get in the house and then they're in there, right? My friend used to be, I'm just going to say it, she used to be jealous because she would see a guy and a girl who the guy's making 40, the girl's making 25 a year, and they could qualify for a house. And this is in North Carolina. And I used to tell her, just save your money. You can buy a house too. It's North Carolina. It's cheap. Well, now years later, and you have to understand the power of cohabitation. If you were a man and a woman, and I know there's people like, but listen, if you're a man and woman and the man's still working, the woman has a kid and can reduce the expenses and keep reducing the expenses and start cooking at home and taking kids, like kids weren't in karate this past year. Kids weren't in all these extra school activities this past year. Okay, you can save the money. There's almost 500 people here. Hit that like button for me if you can. Girl, rent and Cary, North Carolina, fresh out of ECU. I'm all like, my friends are buying. Now this how crazy it is. They were buying brand new townhouses for $55,000, and their parents were giving them $3,000 as the down payment to get the mortgage. And my mom's like, please, Erica, please, I'm gonna give you the money. She was overseas again, and she was like, hey, I'm gonna wire you this money. Just sign the paperwork. I'll even be the co-signer. Just sign the paperwork. I was like, no, Mom, I don't want these townhouses. I don't want that. I don't want to get roommates. And to this day, I'm like, kicking my own butt. I was so excited about that apartment. I'm like, I'm down the street from NC State. I'm going to party all the time. Yeah, dumb. Listen, I'm not going to tell you. The houses I've seen in San Antonio, the Key Resource, Kendra from the Key Resource is down there. I was debating buying a house in San Antonio. They're so freaking nice. But San Antonio makes you feel like you're in suburbia hell. Like you will drive 40 minutes across town to get somewhere. And it's crazy. Every time I go down there, they'll be like, can you come see me? I'm like, I'm over here. She's like, you 40 minutes away. I didn't. Oh, I moved out by myself. Yes. So people may, if you ever Google my history or my family, I had a cousin who was one of the highest ranking, and she's a cousin-in-law, highest ranking MPs on Fort Hood years ago when you had the shooting. And she retired. So they were like my only family that was technically in Texas. At the time, I had a lot of friends in Texas. So yes, when I move, I move. And that's because I'm a military kid and I've grown accustomed to it, right? Like I moved to Maryland with my mom for a while. I moved to Alabama with her for a while after college, right? Because, once she needed help, she had a brain surgery, different things like that. But what I've learned is when you actually have to move to a city and you actually invest yourself, like volunteering, community groups, jobs, after work stuff, you get the most benefit out of it because you realize you can make it. What's up? SNS Consulting, you guys, go crash her site. SNS Consulting is doing resumes. You better hear them, get on her. She is so famous now. She might not be doing that work anymore. Go hit up her, Mr. Shelley, snsconsulting.com. Go blow her up before she goes off in the sunset. Let me see here. Man, I'm taking the door off. I'm taking the whole thing off. Would you say townhouses are still good investments versus moving further out? I honestly would move further out. I would move further out. There's a lot more ways you can resell or sell that house or rent that house out. I did see that article that somebody in Canada did take the doors off. I did see that. That was a little bit too much. That was a little bit too much. Let me see here. Man, I want to take the windows too. Chief Rocka, keep preaching, Erica, with regard to the H-1B visas. There's also a reality that million children will be born in the U.S. Soul chain migration. Yes, you guys. I keep telling you. The woman who basically been there since October 2019, renting, not paying rent in her house. She's had a job this whole time. She's a professional tenant. And literally the city and the government was like, hey, we'll pay you if you won't sue her or get her income tax, and don't worry about it. And it's like, nah, she got to go. She got to go today. But she's still in there. Yes, I know people doing the roommate thing, paying $500 here, $600 there. I'm telling you. Dark Chocolate, he's making a joke that in the future she won't pay. Don't worry about it, man. I'm telling y'all, it's coming. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm just trying to get you to understand that. Some people, when I do Rise to 20% class, which we do only on Tuesdays for the rest of the year, and we got a good marketing show coming up on Tuesday coming up. The reason we do that class and the reason I talk about the way I do is I see people selling companies and other companies are buying them because their main company is a zombie. And so in order to thrive, they got to keep buying companies. So it's a lot going on. Listen, it's going to be interesting coming up. I'm just going to tell y'all. This market is crazy. I may go back to Cali. Jay Princess, is up to you. Which market are you in, Dallas or Houston? Self-made. So the tech skills one gain is going to be on the company's application. In other words, those tech skills aren't transferable from Google to Amazon. Can one start their own business that are transferable to own business? Self-made, thank you for that. Okay, SNS and Colon, please consult the vocal doctor. Tuesdays are always going to be 6:45. I think we're doing 6:45 officially from now on. And inside the Facebook group, we'll post the last video we did. But yeah, that for the Rise of 20%, and then YouTube classes on Wednesday. But yeah, I think those are my only ones. Even after I go on vacation and all this stuff is pre-recorded, I'm telling y'all, it's going to be a crazy summer. So I got AM1 following me around most of April and record a lot of it, but it's going to be crazy. Article says a lot of landlords aren't taking the government assistance because they're asking for too much info. Plus, they're getting problematic renters out and rather start over. Dave Sincere, bingo, bingo, bingo. Exactly. And that's what's the really big thing is it's easier to get the tenant out because we took this money as a concession not to sue this woman from the state of Michigan, and now she's dragging it and she won't get out. So it's like, I'd rather just get them all the way out than start over. Jasmine Flower, go to classyclimbers.com. Go to theclassiclimbers.com. You go straight to the website. You can join it. Hey, there you go. Listen, that's the kind of thinking we need. Ambi Speak says, based on Biden's policy, I'm starting immigration consultant business in Florida. There you go. Yes, the marketing guy is going to be Tuesday. I'm bringing him on. There's like 2 other people I want to see if they'll come on too, but if not, I just have Obi for right now. But all right, you guys, I've got to go run. I've got like 20 more calls to make today. Today doesn't end for me right now. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you for supporting the channel. Listen, prepare yourself. Whatever it is you want to invest in this summer, get really honed in the next 90 days. I'm really serious about this. If you want to apply for credit, if you want to apply for credit cards, do so. I know it's a tendency of us to see hot girl summer and go, where can I go on vacation? I'm gone. This happens every summer. And then guess what happens in October, November, December? It's tax lien time. And you guys check out. They're going to be crazy tax lien sales this year. It's going to be crazy this summer in housing repairs because contractors are so busy. I am telling you, as a person who is experiencing this firsthand, calling title companies and construction companies and making a lot of phone calls to banks, they are slammed. Please make whatever decision and movement you want, because, you know, what happens at the recession is a depression, right? And you need to be wherever lane or level you want to be. And as Diamond Dave said in his video, some of y'all is frustrated because you can't trick at the level you want to. So with that being said, for those of you in the Ride 20%, we'll see you Tuesday, Marketing Tuesday. And you guys have an amazing day.